Days of Our Lives. Sami learns he's not EJ's son. Allie might be the real DiMera heiress. A life hangs in the balance, a bullet sets off a whirlwind of secrets, and one DNA test could rewrite DiMera family history as Days of Our Lives prepares for an explosive spring storyline. Longtime fans may want to brace themselves. A devastating truth is about to emerge, one that could destroy Johnny DiMera's identity as he knows it, and crown his twin sister, Allie Horton, as the true daughter of EJ DiMera. A shooting that changes everything. The drama begins with a shocking gunshot at the DiMera mansion. EJ DiMera is gunned down under mysterious circumstances, left clinging to life in a coma. As the DiMera family reels from the attack, Salem police begin their investigation, casting a wide net of suspects, including EJ's own son, Johnny. Given Johnny's recent emotional outbursts and strained relationship with his father, suspicions are quick to surface. Could Johnny really have pulled the trigger in a moment of rage? While many believe Johnny could never be capable of such violence, evidence, or the lack thereof, leaves room for doubt. As spring unfolds, DOOL spoilers tease that this mystery will be at the heart of Peacock's upcoming story arc, with new revelations set to rock the foundation of the DiMera dynasty. A blood test reveals a family bombshell. In a desperate attempt to save EJ's life, doctors inform the DiMera family that he needs an immediate blood transfusion. Naturally, Johnny steps forward, ready to do whatever it takes to help his father. But what begins as an act of love soon spirals into a medical mystery. Test results return with a chilling revelation: Johnny and EJ are not a biological match. At first, there's disbelief. Perhaps the tests were wrong? Perhaps it was a lab mix-up? But the truth begins to take shape: Johnny is not EJ's biological son. The fallout is swift and heartbreaking. For Johnny, a young man who has spent his life under the DiMera name, this discovery is earth-shattering. His whole identity, his place in the powerful DiMera legacy, is thrown into question. Sami Brady returns, with a secret? In the wake of this revelation, Days of Our Lives confirms through its latest comings and goings that Sami Brady is returning to Salem. Though spoilers hint that she may arrive slightly too late to prevent the damage, her appearance is sure to stir up even more drama. Sami's return raises critical questions: what did she know, and when did she know it? And perhaps most importantly, will she finally tell Johnny the full truth about the night he was conceived? Spoilers hint that Sami may be carrying a long-held secret that could shake the very core of the Brady DiMera family line. Fan speculation is running wild that Sami may have always known, or at least suspected, that Johnny wasn't EJ's son. Was there a mix-up during a complicated time in her life? Could someone have tampered with paternity tests years ago? And if Johnny isn't EJ's son, who is his real father? The shocking possibility: is Allie the true DiMera? The biggest twist of all may be yet to come. If Johnny isn't EJ's biological child, could his twin sister, Allie Horton, be? According to whispers among Salem insiders and dedicated DOOL fans, this may be the secret Sami has tried to bury for decades. DNA mix-ups in Salem are nothing new, but the emotional impact of this revelation would be staggering. Allie, long believed to be the daughter of Lucas Horton, may in fact be EJ's biological child. If true, this would make her the rightful DiMera heir, and flip the family dynamic upside down. Allie has always had a complicated relationship with her family, often walking her own path and struggling to live outside the shadow of the DiMera name. But if this rumor proves true, she'll find herself right at the center of it. How will Allie react if she learns the truth? Will she embrace her DiMera legacy, or reject it completely? What this means for Johnny, this revelation leaves a gaping hole in his heart. Already grappling with the guilt of turning his back on EJ before the shooting, he now faces an identity crisis unlike anything he's ever known. The man he believed was his father, the name he has carried proudly, the legacy he was born into, it was all based on a lie. As EJ lies in a coma, unable to confirm or deny the truth, Johnny must confront his own feelings of betrayal, loss, and confusion. He may even question whether his emotional distance and angry confrontations with EJ were subconsciously rooted in something he could never explain, a deep, underlying feeling that he never quite belonged. Could this be motive for murder? And then, there's the inevitable question, if Johnny discovered the truth before the shooting, could this have given him motive? While it seems far-fetched for fans to believe Johnny capable of such a violent act, the timing of the discovery raises eyebrows. Was the truth about his paternity revealed just before EJ was shot? Could rage and heartbreak have pushed Johnny over the edge? While Days has been careful to suggest that Johnny is likely innocent, his presence on the suspect list remains a compelling twist in the ongoing investigation. And with EJ unable to speak, and the true shooter still at large, anything is possible. What comes next? As spring approaches, Days of Our Lives promises a storyline filled with raw emotion, buried secrets, and family revelations that will change Salem forever. EJ's fate hangs in the balance. Sami returns with more questions than answers. Johnny faces the loss of his identity. And Allie may soon discover she's been a DiMera all along. Next, in a quiet hotel in the heart of Tallinn, Estonia, the soft glow of morning sunlight streamed through gauzy curtains, casting warm patterns on the table where Marlena Evans sat, her thoughts far away from the modest breakfast laid out before her. Across the table, Steve "Patch" Johnson poured 2 cups of coffee, the aroma momentarily breaking the solemnity that had taken hold of the room. Just moments earlier, Marlena had ended a phone call with Brady Black, her stepson and John's son, who remained steadfastly hopeful. "We'll find him," Brady had said with determined conviction, his voice crackling slightly across the international line. Marlena had smiled gently, holding back tears. She wanted to believe it too. The two were in Tallinn, the capital city of Estonia, and their journey had brought them here after discovering that this was the last place John Black had been seen. It was a long way from Salem, both in distance and in spirit. Marlena had always been the image of strength and grace, but there was something different about this search. This wasn't just about solving a mystery. It was about finding her heart, her soulmate, a man who had been missing for far too long. Steve had returned that morning without any solid updates, though he had contacted a few trusted locals who might be able to help them track down John's last movements. "We might hear something by tomorrow," he told Marlena gently, seeing the worry in her eyes. "But for now, we should get some rest. Recharge." Marlena nodded, though sleep had been elusive for days. Her mind was constantly racing with possibilities. Where could John be? Was he hurt? Was he even alive? She sat down at the table, stirring her coffee slowly. The quiet hum of the city outside the window contrasted with the storm inside her heart. As Steve sat across from her, she looked up, her expression suddenly softening. "You know, every time John and I have been separated over the years, I always knew deep down that we'd find our way back to each other," she said, her voice trembling slightly with emotion. "No matter the danger, no matter the distance, we always found our way." Steve listened silently, his eye reflecting a deep empathy. He had seen Marlena and John through it all: brainwashing, kidnappings, possession, and death-defying missions. Their love had been the anchor through countless storms, and even now, Steve could see that unwavering belief in Marlena's eyes. Marlena smiled wistfully, lost in her memories. "Do you remember Megan Hathaway?" "Of course, you do. It wasn't even that long ago," she said with a small laugh, recalling how the once presumed dead daughter of Stefano DiMera had returned to wreak havoc on their lives once again. "Even then, with all the lies and manipulations, John and I still found each other." She paused, her gaze drifting to the window where the Estonian skyline painted a beautiful yet unfamiliar picture. "That's what I keep reminding myself now. That love, real love, always leads you back." Steve reached out and placed his hand over hers. "Doc, I promise you, he said earnestly, using the affectionate nickname John had always called her by. "I will do everything I can to bring John back to you. You have my word." Marlena squeezed his hand tightly, her eyes shining with gratitude. It wasn't just a promise, it was a lifeline. And with Steve by her side, she knew she wasn't alone in this fight. As the day wore on, Marlena and Steve ventured out into the chilly streets of Tallinn, following every breadcrumb they could find. Steve met with a former contact from his ISA days who agreed to dig into local surveillance from the time of John's disappearance. Meanwhile, Marlena visited a small hospital on the outskirts of town where an American man had reportedly been treated months earlier for memory loss. But the lead turned cold. The man had vanished shortly after arriving. That night, back at the hotel, Marlena sat by the window, her journal open on her lap. She began to write, something she hadn't done in a long time, pouring her heart onto the pages in hopes that her words might somehow reach John, wherever he was. "Dear John, I don't know where you are, or if you're safe. But I believe you can feel me, the way I feel you. Every breath, every heartbeat, it's yours. You are in everything I see, every moment I live. I miss you more than words can say, but I know, we'll find each other again. We always do. I will never stop looking. Never." The next morning brought new hope. Steve received a message from his local contact. Someone had spotted a man matching John's description near the northern coastal town of Haapsalu, 2 hours away. The man had seemed confused, disoriented, and was reportedly asking for directions to the U.S. Embassy before vanishing again. They wasted no time. Marlena grabbed her coat, heart pounding with renewed urgency. Could this finally be the breakthrough? As the car sped toward Haapsalu, Steve glanced at Marlena, who was gripping the edge of her seat. "You ready for this?" he asked. She looked at him, eyes blazing with emotion. "I've been ready since the moment he disappeared." The road ahead was long, winding, and uncertain, just like their journey together. But one thing was clear, Marlena was not giving up. The woman who had fought off the devil himself wasn't about to be stopped by fear or distance. She would search the ends of the earth if that's what it took to bring her husband home. And somewhere, in the misty corners of Estonia, John Black, lost, but not forgotten, might soon hear the call of a love that never faded, never faltered, and never gave up. Their reunion may not be today, or even tomorrow, but Marlena's unwavering belief in the power of love might be the very thing that lights his way home.